Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the final game of the Under-20 Rugby Championship competition. Now, we just saw a last-minute thriller take place between South Africa and Argentina. In the end, South Africa getting themselves the victory in that one. They are currently sitting in second on the Rugby Championship table. New Zealand, the way that it sits at the moment, they are in first by points differential. Now, due to the fact that they had a head-to-head draw with the the junior box, means that this game is extremely important. Australia, they have still the opportunity to win the competition. Looking through at their starting lineup, quite a few changes, although a little bit similar in terms of the front row. Jack Barrett at number 1, Tuipulotu at 2, and then Bloomfield will still be starting in as the number 3. Phillipson and McLaughlin Phillips as their 19 combo, I think will be certainly one to keep a close eye out for in this matchup. I should also mention, compared to some of the past games that we have seen of this Under-20s Rugby Championship, the weather is extremely nice. On the Sunshine Coast, it is finally living up to its name, even though we are into this final round of the competition. And hopefully next time that these games take place, we can see a double header in terms of these sides playing each other. For New Zealand in this contest, in the front row, they have still got their captain, Basin, and number 2. They've got the experience, well, I guess you could say the little bit of extra experience from Tom Allen and Liam Jack as the locking duo. Pledger and Simpson will be the 19 combo for this contest. And then still at number 15, Isaac Hutchison. He looks like a really talented young player, possibly has a bright future ahead of him as well. But the last two games for New Zealand, they started off the competition with a 13-all draw up against the South Africans. Then from there, they went on to get themselves a nice, comfortable win over Argentina, 43 points to the 20 for the Australians. They lost their first contest, but then from there, they went on to win their second, beating South Africa, losing to Argentina, and now an opportunity still to be able to go on and win the Rugby Championship. I've got in the chat, morning Hamish. What about the baby Wallabies called? Or what are the babies Wallabies called? The Joeys? I believe they're just the Junior Wallabies, if I'm correct. I'm just looking at their jerseys, but it would be a smart name for them, and I feel like Junior Wallabies doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way that the Joeys would. And hopefully New Zealand get a winning bonus point. Says no mum, although at this stage, they just need to get some form of point, pretty much. Or at least, if they get the win, they will win the Rugby Championship Under-20s inaugural competition. Afternoon, brother Hamish. How you doing, mate? Here all cool, says Birdie V. Hope you are doing very well, Birdie. This game going to be a very entertaining one, that is for sure. These two sides, over the last week, I would say that they both played their best game of rugby. New Zealand up against Argentina, Australia, when they did play up against the South Africans, and even those games were still played in slightly wet conditions. We just had the Australian national anthem. Toby McPherson, they were showing him on the screen for the Aussies. And good morning, says Kennedy. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. Like I mentioned, a nice win for the South Africans, getting themselves their first victory of this Under-20s Rugby Championship. It sits them in second. So if New Zealand win this game, South Africa will finish second in the overall standings of the Rugby Championship. If Australia win this game, depending on by how much, it may mean that South Africa move down to third and New Zealand get themselves second on the overall standings. But either way, Argentina, unfortunately for them, they will be in the bottom 2 of this Rugby Championship comp, even though they got themselves the winning bonus point over the Australians. Sadly, those 5 points in that game, they are the only points that we have seen the Argentines be able to get, other than, of course, that losing bonus point in their most recent contest up against South Africa. Interesting. There's Nissan GTR fan, and yeah, thanks, doing well. Good game, Junior Box in Argentina. Yeah, keeping it extremely close between these two sides, which is absolutely awesome. Hopefully this game between New Zealand and Australia is a little bit similar in terms of a close fixture going down to the wire. Currently New Zealand doing the haka before the match. They're going to be fired up for this game. That's the thing. Some new names in there. Of course, Solomon Stanley is one that has really stepped up throughout this competition for the Junior All Blacks as well. Jack Harley, another one to watch out for, I would say, when it comes to that Australian loose forward trio. do let me know your score predictions for this game, ladies and gentlemen. We are just around the corner from the kickoff in this contest for the last game of this Under-20 Rugby Championship. Do you ever do NRL live streams? Just wondering. We did at one stage, but the overlaps for the NRL and Super Rugby are very often. So it makes it quite difficult to be able to cover both competitions, because there are certain games, of course, that are the big games of the weekends for both competitions, and most of the time they do overlap with each other. And Bertie said URC last few games was crazy yesterday. Bulls back to 4th. Like, that's the thing. The URC is so close at the moment. Like, Leinster getting themselves a big win. Munster getting the big win. Lions getting themselves the big win. So that boosts them a little bit closer to that top 8. But it's still going to be challenging for them to get there, seeing as Benetton also got themselves the win over the Sharks. Rivero will be the referee in charge of this one. TMO is Damon Murphy. Joey's 5, All Blacks 32, says Sebastian. And if it's anything like the last game that we saw between New Zealand and Argentina, New Zealand will come out of the gates firing in this contest, and they'll look to get points on the board nice and early. It is Rico Simpson with the ball in hand. We are just about ready for the final game of the Under-20 Rugby Championship comp. I hope you are doing well, Arthur. And through that, mate, and URC Knockout Rugby is a different ball game, says Arthur Harrison, and we are getting very close to those knockout contests. All right, the countdown is over. It's kicked off by Rico Simpson, and the start of what can be a trans-Tasman rivalry for a lot of these players. Future Wallabies, future All Blacks going head-to-head here on the Sunshine Coast. But good driving tackle made by New Zealand with Will Martin. It looks like now they are going to roll this one back Australia inside of their 22. Of course, one of the rules that they have brought in for this Under-20 Rugby Championship to trial is the fact that you can take a mark inside of your 22 off a kickoff. It's going to be kicked down the middle of the field by Rico Simpson. A lot of distance on it. It's actually inside of the Australian goal area. Kicked back downfield and nicely claimed on the halfway line here for New Zealand. A rampling Alec. Kicked in behind from Hutchison, looking for territory. Doesn't work out, gets too much on it, and they will go back to where it was kicked from. Scrum feed for the Australians. Those are the type of mistakes that you can't really afford to be making very early on in a contest. It just takes that momentum away. He went for the kick in behind. I think initially he was just trying to play a bit of territory there. The ball just took off. Of course, they have been playing in extremely wet conditions, and he was actually one of the best players in those wet conditions for New Zealand. Seemed to be able to work them out quite well. Did you get your mum anything today, says Mana Black? I did indeed. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it is a secret. 90 seconds in. At the moment, scrum feed here for the Australians. Happy birthday, Hamish. It's not my birthday, no. We've been getting a lot of birthday wishes over the last day or so. Even though my birthday is in December. Now that one's going off to the left-hand side. Running forward, Leahy in the midfield. Going back to the left-hand side. There was a forward pass from the Australians. I think they have said that it's all right, though, so it is going to be play on just for now. Running down the wing, McCulloch. Australia, they're about 32 metres out from the try line. Attack and run from Tuipalotu. Now off to the left-hand side again, some quick hands, gets it away to Jack Harley. Just mentioned there for the Australians, only one of 4 players in Jack Harley who have actually started every contest. Does Mum watch your streams? Can she hear you? I think so. She might be able to hear me at the moment as she is just through that wall. Oh, that's going to be the penalty going the way of the Australians. Johnny Lee in through the side. They'll give the Australians an easy 3 points if they want it. And it looks like they do want it. They are going to be kicking this one for the post. Incorrect entry against Jonathan Lee. Australia, they'll just look to add as many points on the board early on as they can. Build scoreboard pressure. Try and put New Zealand up against it from the get-go. And with such a nice sunny day, like, I hope this game is as free-flowing as I believe it can be. Because, like I said, these two sides just have an ability of being able to score some fantastic tries. We've seen it all throughout this Under-20 Rugby Championship. Not so much for the Australians in their first game, but up against South Africa. We saw they've got that try-scoring ability that's going to go over. And good day, mates. Eddie Hamish says, Quintus, welcome in. You are doing very well. That kick is over for the Aussies, so they will now be 3-0 up after a successful kick from Harry McLaughlin-Phillips. I believe he is... I think he's a part of the Reds setup, if I'm correct. Which I probably am not. Oh, hang on. Where's the sun gone? We had sunshine about 1 minute ago, and now it is extremely dark. And I hope it's not going to start raining here, but the sun was about. Maybe a cloud has decided to pass over. Hopefully it goes away pretty soon. Kick downfield. Yeah, sun's coming back now. That's good news. I forgot about this, says Hanoi. Of course, it's going to be the last round of the Under-20s Rugby Championship. It is a shame that the competition is coming to a close so quickly. A lot of talented players have been seen and probably scouted throughout these games. Happy 50th birthday, Hamish, says Quintus. Nice bounce pass there for New Zealand. Pass on the outside, another bounce pass. And that time it's going to be dropped from Rappling Alec. Go back for another scrum. Sunshine Coast not living up to its name as always. And there's heaps of rain in Australia at the moment. There certainly is. Heavy rain all around the place. Nice running forward from Hutchinson. Just bounce pass and slips through the fingertips of Rappling Alec. Have you been to Australia, Hamish? I have, yes. A bit warmer than New Zealand. A little bit humid depending on whereabouts you go in Australia. I don't think I've been to the Sunshine Coast. I've been to the Gold Coast though, but not the Sunshine Coast. I think I've been to the Gold Coast. Is that where the theme parks are? Because if it is, then yes, I've been there. And 12:36 a.m. Left a few hours ago here in the USA, says Kerman. Have you guys got the, what have we got at the moment? The lights in the sky, the pink ones. I don't know what it's called, the aurora lights. That's where the gold diggers are, sir, says Sebastian. Now going off to the left-hand side. Right, Taili just losing his footing. Actually, has fallen the wrong way. They will go back for the original advantage. It's going to be a New Zealand feed to the scrum. So they've actually said that the knock-on advantage had not disappeared from this one. The Gold Coast has the theme parks. Yeah, so I have been there. Quite some time ago, though. I was a bit shorter. Who was the most famous person you have ever met? I honestly don't know. Like, we've like interviewed an ex-All Black on the channel, and Norm Maxwell, so probably him, I would say. I can't think of many famous people I have actually met. Nah, don't think I met too many. From a small town, so normally you don't see many people around. I can watch on DSTV in South Africa. Prefer watching along with you. South Africa play bad, although they still managed to get themselves the win. Okay, pretty cool, says Nissan GTR. Now Rico Simpson going to be kicking this one towards the corner here for the Junior All Blacks. And happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Says Birdie V. And yeah, I guess it has ticked over for some of you guys as well. Even in America, I believe you are now on Mother's Day. And they're called Northern Lights here in the USA, all colours. Says Kerman. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix here. I know that they were mainly pink and green, I think. The ones. The Norm Maxwell interview was awesome, Hamish. My favourite player back in the day. Says Mana Black. Now looking for the rolling maul. It's going to be Vernon. Basson on the back. Goes across into the midfield. Big attack and run from the inside centre for the Kiwis. In this game they have gone with Pongo. Now Jack. 7 metres from the line. Pledger again goes across. This is where New Zealand can be so dangerous if these passes find hands. That one's found the wrong hands. The Australian hands to be exact. But now down the wing, Stanley Solomon look for the offload. It's grubbered forward by the Australians. And now Taeli's just got a little bit of time to be able to regather the composure and reset this backline. A special hello to Hamish and Mr. Grimmer. Says the big VHO. Welcome in and yes. Says Robert. Now back across again. This time it's going to be Cook going for, but penalty as won by the Australians. Currently 8 minutes into this contest and they have still got themselves that 3-0 lead. Whoever wins this game wins the Rugby Championship is pretty much the simplest way of describing it. John Olomu, my favourite All Black of all time, says Quintus. That's gone into touch from McLaughlin Phillips. Stanley Solomon somehow staying in the field of play, but unfortunately for him, just didn't have the man on the inside to be able to pass it away to. But McLaughlin Phillips just winning that one pretty easily. Australia can win this despite being beaten by New Zealand and Argentina. Says the big VHO. Well, they haven't played New Zealand yet. They were beaten by Argentina, but then they did beat South Africa. So if they have 2 wins, then they would have just enough because they're on 4 points at the moment. New Zealand are on 7, South Africa are on 7. So if Australia get 4 points for a win here, and head-to-head is something that comes into it, I believe ahead of points differential. So yeah, Australia have still got the chance. I've always known them lights as the Aurora Borealis, says Sebastian. And please don't forget while you're here to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, says Birdie V. Of course, this weekend we're going to have plenty more rugby action with the URC, with Super Rugby, all taking place. Only a couple of weeks away from the last sevens leg of the season. Wow, so the Aussies have done well on the comp. I thought we were terrible at this. Well, they currently sit in last. But that's the thing. With such a short competition, like so much can change, right? So if Australia lose this game, they can finish dead last in the comp. If they win this game, they can win the competition. So, like, it's a bit weird, but that's what happens when you've got a short competition. And also with the draw, New Zealand and South Africa, how much are South Africa going to regret kicking that ball into touch and accepting a draw up against New Zealand, or taking the quick tap and kicking it into touch rather than going for one last crack of being able to break through? Could cost them the competition here depending on this result. 11 minutes in. Oh, geez, I had a massive brain fart. Says at the big V8 show. And I read my last message. It's going to be the penalty going the way of New Zealand there for the front row. Feet slipping out from underneath them. Be against Barrett, Tuipulotu, and also Bloomfield. Rico Simpson. Be kicking this one towards the touch line. It's gone out. That'll be about 22 metres out from the try line for New Zealand. Just that turnover going the way of the Kiwis. A little bit of scrum pressure making the Aussies collapse under that pressure. I guess I assume New Zealand had already won this game, says the big V8 show. Ooh. Well, that's a bold prediction, but at the end of the day, I think that they did come in as slight favourites for this matchup. And Australia still with that 3-point lead. Going back across Lee. Now Pledger, he's just given it away to Australia again. At the moment, New Zealand have passed the ball more into the hands of the Aussies than they have into the hands of their own teammates. Now nice stepping from Stanley Solomon. He's definitely got a bright future there, man. Now beautiful offloading from New Zealand until they once again give the ball back to Australia. Kicking it downfield. I believe that was Palu. Rico Simpson has to retreat for New Zealand inside of the 22 currently, setting up for the pass. A little bit of a risk, and Hutchinson decides that they will clear their lines. It's a good kick downfield, but it hasn't found touch. And now McLaughlin Phillips goes back across field to Staniforth, playing 15 for this game. Pani with the offload, open space for the Australians. And Hutchinson has to make a very important tackle. 15 metres out, we stream the T20 World Cup for certain games. I'm hoping to do some of it. But more than likely, we'll end up getting a copyright strike, and then that will probably mean that we don't get to do a lot of it. And that's the kind of risk with it. Like, I'd love to do the games of the T20 World Cup, but I do know that if we get a copyright strike from it, it means that we won't be able to do a lot of international rugby around that time. Nice running to the short side. Rubens gets within 3 metres here for the Australians. Hitting it up again, Good Dukes. Ref telling them to release it. The ball's still available for the Australians. Here comes Tui Pelotu. Found his offload away now. Going out wide. Short ball, and it's knocked on by the Australians. Just lacking that clinical nature right with that last pass. I believe Leahy was the man who dropped it down. Hamish and Rugby Guru must do the international senior sides together on one screen. Says Quintus, it is easier said than done. Like, we've done collaborations with Johan in the past, but in terms of doing co-commentary while not being in the same location, it is a real challenge. Because, for one, you've got to try and synchronize your games so that you are exactly second by second at the same time. You've also got to allow for that few second delay, which can make it pretty hard to go back and forth when you are waiting for that kind of next stoppage, if that makes sense, because it's quite hard to read someone's body language when you're watching them. Whereas if you're side by side, you know, they'll go like this and then they'll put down that microphone, and then that's where we see normally on the professional broadcasts that the next person will put their microphone up and then they'll start talking about the game. But yeah, we'll probably do some sort of videos with them in the international section and come visit South Africa. Problem solved. I mean, it's an option. It's just not an option, if that makes sense. Like, financially, it would probably not be possible at the moment, as to get a flight to South Africa from New Zealand, you're looking at a fair chunk of change. 15 minutes in at the moment, 3-0 at the moment for the Australians. Getting ready to throw this one in for the Australians. Dealing with just a little bit of sun in the eyes at the moment with where this line out is positioned on the field. 40 metres out from New Zealand's line. Thrown over the top. Nicely claimed though. Take and run from Leahy. Quintus don't talk. Man to get robbed. Says Enoch in there as well. Going out to the right hand side. Big bump off. Australia having a lot more position. Time to start a GoFundMe for Hamish. Says Caitlin there. Maybe one day we'll head to South Africa. I feel like if we did, we'd have to watch a game. Like, whether it's at Loftus, whether it's at Emirates Airline Park, Cape Town Stadium, Durban. It's going to be kicked high now from the Australians. Looking for the little chip in behind. Rico Simpson now running forward. Gets a few extra metres in the process. A smiley face from this. And maybe the 2027 Rugby World Cup in Australia might have to be some sort of option, perhaps, as like a goal to get to go for a few of those games. Even if it's just for one round of the Rugby World Cup, that would be pretty cool. It's going to be kicked high now from Pledger. Slapped back by the Kiwis. We're back in position. 40 metres from their line. Attack and run from the big man, Tristan Cook. You'd have to do a tour of the 4 South African teams, attend a game of each, says Sebastian. And they're visiting South Africa as a game challenge of its own. What brand of footy is the Sydney Roosters and New Zealand Warriors, Hamish? It's live on TV in the US. So that is the NRL. That's a beautiful pass out wide to Stanley Solomon. And he'll get himself another try there. I think there was Happy Mother's Day underneath. Maybe. Underneath the shirt there for Stanley Solomon, but the try has come for New Zealand. It's a nice little pop pass back from Tom Allen, and good hands in the midfield. The draw and pass out to Stanley Solomon, who only had to run it in, and does finish the job. But yeah, it is rugby league rather than rugby union. So a little bit different, but has its similarities in some regard. Now 18 minutes in. And it looked easy, that one, says Pete D. And like I've just said, he's actually had that one ready to celebrate a try being scored. Durban must be one of your stops, says Caitlin. And there as well. I'd say so. Like, if I was going to go to South Africa, I feel like it would have to be like a proper, like, go to the locations that are available, you know, like one game of each. Although one game of each would be quite tricky, wouldn't it? You probably have to stay for at least 2 weeks, if not longer, because the games normally for the URC are back to back to back to back, aren't they? And I would have no idea where to stay in South Africa. If he went to Durban, Gareth would take him hostage. That one's gone into Dutch on the full from the Australians. Argentina is very cheap. You could stay there for 3 months on about $600 US. Decent hotel, eating out every night. That is extremely cheap. And don't forget, it is Mother's Day today. It certainly is. So hopefully all the mothers who, of course, watch these streams, because we have heaps of them, are having a great day. I don't think we got many mothers. Place to say sorted then, Mr. Grimmer, says Caitlin. Wait, so I'm staying with Gareth in the dungeon by the sounds of it, is it? That'll be fun. To be fair, I don't go out in the sun much anyway, so still probably the equivalent of me being inside in New Zealand. Caitlin, Cape Town is far safer. Yeah, although you got to do the full tour. It also depends on what area you're in. Like, it's like everywhere. There's always going to be areas that are a little bit rough and areas that are very nice. So you just got to pick them wisely. Now, nicely passed on the outside. Past one more. Now looking for the chip in behind for New Zealand. This one's going to just sit up in the in-goal area. Yeah, and Gareth is a great cook, so you wouldn't have to worry about the food, says Sebastian. Does he cook a good French fry? A good, hot chips? That's a staple meal, Got to have the hot chips. Gareth's dungeons are maybe safer than some areas in Durban, says Caitlin. Yeah, I guess at least it will be, like, well secured. I like to think. You'll have some padlocks or something on the door. Durban Bunny Chow, the best. Says Quintus, New Zealand, once again in possession. They are 25 metres out from the try line here. Searching for this ball was Dylan Pledger. Now popped up from Rippling Alec. Rush defence from the Australians. It's still in the hands of the Kiwis. Wouldn't mind scoring themselves another try here. That's a penalty, though, so they won't get it here. Or won't get it now anyway. Side entry from New Zealand. Can't beat a boil up with all the trimmings, lol, says Eagle Cap. There's also a sandwich in South Africa, isn't there? Well, I think it's in Durban. Gareth's talked about it a little bit. Isn't there like this real big meaty burger sandwich thing that you guys can get? I can't remember what it's called, like a monster sub or it's something, but it's like 50 layers, well maybe not 50, but like 10 layers of meat. Does anyone know what that's called? And it's like quite cheap too, for what it is. Line out throw now for Tuipulotu, the Cape Townian Gatsby, and Gatsby in Cape Town. And he's talking about the Gatsby, says the big V8 show. The big Cape Town Gatsby, eh? Cape Town Gatsby, says the radio there. So it's very well known by the looks of it. It's Gatsby from Cape Town. Another offload on the inside from New Zealand as they got driven towards the touchline, but it is going to be secured by Australia again, who look to kick it down the park, although well covered back there for New Zealand from Rico Simpson. How are you, Roast Lamb? Hi, how are you? Says Kevin, doing very well, mate. Hopefully you are also keeping well. Durban has the bunny. What is the bunny chow? I'm a chef, so food my game. Says Quintus. I'm sure you're a fan of Australian rules football. It's not too bad. Like, it's pretty awesome to watch live at the stadium. Kicked him high from Rico Simpson. This one curving towards the touchline. Well cleaned up by Staniforth. And does get it into Dutch. Bunny chow is a hollow out loaf of bread filled with curry. Ah. Okay, that doesn't sound as bad as I thought it was. Like, bunny chow for me sounds like it's like all the bits of a bunny that they can't use with like a fillet, if that makes sense. Is there any bunny in it? Rabbit food, says Caitlin. And evening, Kiwi lads, a bit late, just got home from work, says Spider Mix. Hopefully you had a good day. Only 6 p.m. here in New Zealand. Nice time for this match to take place. Also about 8 a.m. for you guys in South Africa, so it is greatly appreciated you all tuning in. They say if you reproduce on top of the mountain, on top of Table Mountain, after having a masala steak Gatsby, the offspring will be an international level all-rounder. Says Sebastian, no bunnies were harmed in the making of the bunny chow. So why is it called the bunny chow then, if there's no bunny in it? Like, there must be, I'd assume there's an obvious answer. Maybe like it looks, like Caitlin said it's like rabbit food. Is it because it does look like rabbit pellets or something? Like, what's the bunny side of things? Only on the halfway line, Will Martin for New Zealand, building a little bit closer towards that 40-metre line. Now the youngster Liam Jack. The classic Rabbitohs fans. There's Nissan GTR, chipped him behind. And that's going to be a very good kick from New Zealand. Gets it into the 22. Now Australia's line out with Tuipulotu will be under all sorts of pressure once again. Like I just said, some fantastic defence from the Australian under-20s. Managed to relieve the pressure a few times, but New Zealand are right on the heels, or right on the verge of getting themselves another one. Members of an Indian caste known as Banayas initially served the dish in restaurants, hence the name bunny chow. Says Grant. Going to be kicked down to the halfway line. You learn something new every day. I've already learned quite a few things. 1, Gareth's got a dungeon. And 2, bunny chow in the region or kind of meaning behind it. You beat Australia, you win the championship, says Gita. Yeah, or if Australia beat New Zealand, they win the Rugby Championship under-20 competition. So there is a lot on the line for this contest. Rico Simpson, wide cut-out pass now for New Zealand. He sold the dummy and wanted to go himself. I know Bunny and adapted from Bania. I'm probably mispronouncing a lot of these, aren't I? They created it to help workers travel with their curries for lunch. Strategic. It's a South African Indian creation. Huh. Do you put the bread back on top? Because I imagine like a bun, right? Wow. Is it because it's like a bun? Maybe. But, yeah, I imagine a bun, and then I imagine you chop the lid off, hollow it out, put it in. Do you put the bun back on top? Like the top of the bun? It's going to be kicked downfield from the Australians. That one's bounced in the field of play. Great kick downfield. And that's actually the loose forward. Aiden Kanayake, I believe it is. We have there, Joe Berg has a bad sandwich called Kota. Yes, used the hollow bread to soak up the curry gravy. He's getting excited over buns. Yeah, not for the first time. In South Africa, takeaway food consisting of a hollowed out half loaf of bread filled with vegetable or meat curry. Says Birdie V. And then you put it back on top, like the lid, so that it's all held together, I guess, so that you don't put it upside down in your backpack and then she all goes out. And now New Zealand, they're under a lot of pressure at the moment from the Australians. Looks like Australia have got themselves the scrum feed now. Wallabies only just hanging in there, says Pete D. I mean, they are, but at the same time, New Zealand need to really work on it here because there is a chance that they find themselves down at half-time if Australia score themselves a try now. Only 28 minutes in. Looks like we got some drinks running onto the field, so I will also have one of those. We making silly mistakes? Yeah. Few crucial times that they haven't really passed that ball when they should have for New Zealand. I think that last one was a pretty clear one that should have been passed on a little bit further. It still looks like a decent crowd at the Sunshine Coast for the final game of the Under-20s Rugby Championship. Once again, fantastic to see that they have got a decent crowd for this competition, and hopefully we get to see more of this competition in the future as well. So they've just said about the fact that soon they head away to the Under-20s Championship, which is taking place in South Africa this year. And these same sides, alongside a few others, will be in action and taking part in that competition. 28 minutes in, feeding this one in, it will be Douglas Phillipson. And we got another scrum reset. Building suspense just that little bit more for these two front rows. Just saying that Jack Barrett needs to make sure that he keeps his side up. He's up against Josh Smith for the Kiwis. There's some big boys out there in the front row for both of these sides. I would say they weigh at least 1.5 of me. And that is each player, I should mention, not the whole front row. Also sounds like talking about the fact that maybe Jack Barrett could find himself actually into the Waratahs due to the injuries that they have got at the moment at the loose head and tight head propping jersey. That's going to be the penalty to Australia. I think that this one is worth taking the 3. It would give them the lead back. A big decision here for Toby McPherson. And they are going to take on the 3 points here for Harry McLaughlin-Phillips. But it does seem like it's going to be an extremely close game between these two sides. Like I mentioned, whoever wins this pretty much wins the Under-20 Rugby Championship competition. Just getting held up there after the ball. And the penalty was already won. One's from about 25 metres out. So it should be a kickable 3. Commentators have just said that they have gone with the right option here for the Australians. We are about to see whether or not he is correct. And that statement, Lachlan-Phillips, he's got it over. And that is now, after 30 minutes, going to make the score 6 points to 5. What happens if it's a draw? Then New Zealand will win the Rugby Championship Under-20s competition. So I don't think there is a way that South Africa can win the overall Rugby Championship comp with what is left. I think that they can either finish second if New Zealand win, or they can finish third if Australia win. Unless Australia win by a really good, solid margin. Although I think then New Zealand would be on the same points as the South Africans, and then due to the head-to-head, they'd check that and then they'd go for points differential. So there is a chance that they could still finish second, even if New Zealand were to lose in this game. Offloaded back up to McLaughlin-Phillips. Runs it out from his 22, and that is an extremely high kick. Swirling in the breeze a little bit. New Zealand have to leave it as they had a couple players who were in an offside position. Now McLaughlin-Phillips goes on the outside to Pani again. Or Palu, I should say. Kicked him behind. Hutchison has to get across and cover. He's done beautifully down the wing to keep this ball alive. Although Palu was almost on it. Been told to use it. New Zealand managed to get it into touch, but Australia are all over them. At the moment, they are not giving them any easy meters. Any red cards affect tied points. I think it's about the 6th thing that splits them, maybe. I'll have a quick look here. So, in terms of tiebreakers that we can have, The first tiebreaker, of course, is how many points they have. Then the next tiebreaker is actually based off how many wins you have. Then the next one after that is based off your head-to-head wins. So if you're on the same amount of points as that opposition, they'll check who won that game. If it was a draw, they go to points difference. Then afterwards, they go to head-to-head points difference, which I don't really understand what the difference is because they also check the head-to-head for the wins already. Then they look at most tries scored. And then if it's all equal, it's considered tied and the trophy shared. So at the moment, like the only thing that might split them overall, you'd say, is the fact that New Zealand have got more tries than South Africa, if that was somehow the way that it worked out. But more than likely at the moment, the two sides that could end up tied would actually be Australia and New Zealand. That is, if Australia just win this game and New Zealand are within 7. But then they'd look at that head-to-head result and Australia would take the championship due to that. I'm going to have a dash. I'm going to have to dash. Have a Mother's Day breakfast to go to. Have a lekker afternoon, you too, Betty. Hopefully you do enjoy your Mother's Day breakfast. Me and my boy got to watch the ABs against the Hurricanes under 20 before they left. It was a good game. Says Pete D and Trophy Share, one of them where everyone's a winner. Bloody hell, says Sebastian. Yeah, although if you get to that stage and you're still even with the side, like, maybe you do both deserve to win. But that one's still going to be available at rolling more time. In fact, no, it hasn't come out the back door. The butt cheek out at the moment for one of the Aussie players. And Amish, enjoy your day. Mother's Day commitments, says Quintus. So we will see you later on. 1995 semi-final, South Africa versus France in heavy rain. Game was cancelled. France would have gone to the final. James Small red card, says Arthur Harrison. That would be very Sippo, says Grant. And thanks, mate. Cheers, says Birdie V in the chat as well. So a little bit of strapping going on to the head of Nick Bloomfield at this stage. Only 6 minutes remaining. This first half has flown by. I was saying that, what time did it start? I think it started 38 minutes ago. So it's still a pretty free-flowing half of rugby overall. In fact, I think I've done the maths wrong. I think that it's been 33 minutes, almost in 33 minutes. If I'm correct. Oh, no, they had an extra 5 minutes. We can't upset, where'd that go? Upset the youngsters by having someone be the loser, says Sebastian in there as well. And neither of these sides want to lose this competition, of course. I don't know if you get a silver medal in this comp. I feel like you just get known as the side that finished second. You probably don't want that wooden spoon, which at the moment does look like Argentina might be the side that do end up claiming that one. Drinks have come from the field. You have to get used to failure from a young age, especially if you're an Aussie. Nice. So if it stays this way, Australia would win because they have got themselves more wins than New Zealand. New Zealand would still get the bonus point. They'd still be on 8. And even if they have a better points differential, because Australia have got more wins, that would put them through. Referee, another scrum reset, happening quite a bit throughout this game at the moment. And many youngsters should learn early on that they are losers and would amount to nothing. Wow. Those are inspirational words, aren't they? Yeah, they've said that it's not as greasy as it was, but it's still a little bit of slipperiness. They're on the field. This looks like there's some sort of injury here to Josh Smith. Maybe something to do with his hand as he was trying to put it down. He's ended up with some sort of injury. It still look like there are some rain clouds in the background, so hopefully it won't amount to anything, or at least if it is going to, it will be after this game is over between the two sides. The last thing that we want is another game affected by rain in this under-20 Rugby Championship. They've picked pretty much the worst season to be able to go and play in the Sunshine Coast with all of the rain that has been around. Yeah, it looks like Josh Smith's still getting that a little bit more medical attention. So it's just trying to stay fresh, stay warmed up. Now 5 minutes left. And hopefully second half we do get to see a few more tries. We've just seen the one throughout this first half at this point. Now that's not to say that there won't be one try in the last 5 minutes of this contest, at least for the first half anyway. See there, the Australians are warming up, just in case they are required to get subbed. And now we are ready for the scrum feed once again, about to be fed in by Dylan Pledger. Kid there wearing a Māori All Blacks kit. Some of these players are eligible for that Māori All Blacks side. Maybe we get to see them have that chance in the future. But to be fed in, Pledger does put the ball into that scrum, back across to Rico Simpson. Looks like New Zealand are going to try and run this one out from their own 22. Passed on the outside and plenty of space to be able to work with. Kicked on the inside, but an awkward bouncing one sits up nicely for Xavier Rubens. Stolen, and that is going to be Stanley Solomon scores again. He's going to be a very bright talent for the future here. Stanley Solomon, his second try. It's off the interception. And where should Hamish stay when he visits Cape Town for a South African tour? Grant? I think Grant's still in Oman, isn't he? If I am correct. Have to find someone in Cape Town, won't I? Kick downfield. Great work from Stanley Solomon. Too quick for Palu. It depends on what he wants to do. Says Grant. Another Trans-Tasman clash, which is favourites. And I'm in Bahrain, not Oman. Did you move from Oman to Bahrain, Grant? Or is it might be Joss actually who's in Oman. May have got that around the wrong way. Joss and Grant, they're kind of close to each other, aren't they? Great finish from Stanley Solomon. I've never been to Opman. I've never been in Opman. Rugby, drink and prostitutes. Here's Sebastian. The kick is good from New Zealand. Now making the score 12 points to 6. I said that I wanted to see more tries, and straight away New Zealand have been able to deliver with a try of their own. That takes them up to 2 for this contest. Now we've got to remember as well, they are trying to get themselves the maximum amount of points available. Will you cover all Olympics or only rugby? We have got some of the Olympics planned, the rugby sevens for the Olympics. Of course, will be covered on the channel. I was trying to remember where everyone's from. Tell you what, it's a struggle at times. But you in Ireland, Caitlin, or are you in South Africa? It's one of the two, I think. Maybe. Coding, I'm not sure. Sebastian's in Romania. That's a nice, easy one. Who else we got in the chat that we know the location? Well, that sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? That we know the locations of, as if we just track yous all. That's going to be loose. Sebastian's from Romania. Am I right? You certainly are. Definitely C point or green point, says Grant. Back across to the left-hand side here for New Zealand. 2 minutes remaining in the half. Close enough. Irish surname, live in Durban. Okay, we were close. I actually forgot about me. I'm from India, old friend. Which region of India were you from, Coding? I feel like I knew you were from India, but I wasn't sure of the region. Now, nice work from Stanifoot. Puts it on the outside. Ball back on the inside, and Stanifoot just goes into touch. New Zealand defending well. I'm in Romania, but not living there. Oh, sorry, you're from Romania. You're living in England, aren't you? Sorry. See, it's tricky, but I feel like we still remember a few locations around the world. I can't even remember what I had for tea like 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago, let alone capital of India, New Delhi, approximately 1,154 kilometers from Hamish. I'll test you in another 7 months. Right, so I'll have to remember Durban, won't I? Are you living in Gareth's dungeon, out of curiosity? Is there plenty of room in it? New Delhi, nice coding. Says Sebastian. They've just managed to defend that one. Jonathan Lee. Looks like a little bit of an injury here for King Maxwell. That is quite the name, isn't it? It's looking pretty dark in the background. I hope that is just due to the fact that it's getting close to night time over there. It's currently about 4:16 local time. I only go there for holidays. Holiday to Gareth's Dungeon sounds... Why does that sound like a horror film? Like, in the nicest way possible. Like, it just sounds like the title of some sort of horror film, like Holiday to Gareth's Dungeon. It doesn't have to be Gareth. It could really be anyone's name. That's not straight from New Zealand. That is horrific, you could say. Although that sounds very harsh for a not straight line out from Bassin, but now chance here for Australia. Maybe even take the lead. Gareth lives in a house or a town outside of Durban, says Grant. And then he has to travel to his dungeon. It seems like it's a little bit of an inconvenience. Yeah, I don't think Vernon Bassin was very happy with that not straight call. 20 seconds remaining in the half, though. It's been fast-paced at times, although we have had a lot of stoppages. I saw Ireland stun Pakistan full side again. Pakistan is so unpredictable. They beat big sides in the World Cups and lose to B side and weak sides and bilaterals, says Coding. And yeah, you like to think that by the time we get to that World Cup, Pakistan will have some sort of form found. I think he has multiple dungeons. He respects his the privacy of his hostages. Very, very caring is Gareth. Make sure that conditions are nice. Australia, 3 metres out from the line. Going to the right-hand side here again. And a good driving tackle again is made by New Zealand. The tricky part here is going to be shutting down this Australian attack as they look to now shift it out wide. Nice hands. Leahy goes off to Staniforth. He's 5 metres out. And another good tackle made by New Zealand. Oh, Sawyers has a little bit of a fumble of the ball. And New Zealand win the penalty. Front page news tomorrow, Gareth's Dungeon, says Pete D. But now I believe the tactic for New Zealand here will be to take the tap and kick it into touch, which would take us into half time. Unless, of course, they want to try and find one last try. Which, I mean, it would be risky, and that is not what they're going to do. And Grant, Dungeon Crimes, it's best to commit dungeon crimes away from your house. No comment, I guess. But it's a decent first half. 14, that's not the score. 12 points to 6 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Second half will be around 10 to 15 minutes away normally. Is about the split that they have. Have you ever used air conditioners in your home? Air conditioner. We've got a heat pump, if that counts. Which I guess is kind of like an air conditioner, depending on like what you call them. What do they call that in America? Not the air conditioner, they call it like a RC. No, RC is like a remote control, isn't it? What's the one called in America that you have as like your air conditioner unit? You call it something a unit, but I can't remember what it is. You can check out Gareth's new book, Dungeon, an AC. That's the one. Oh, wait a minute. AC literally stands for air conditioner. Yeah, that makes sense actually. An AC, air conditioner. What we're going to quickly do is we're just gonna hide for a second. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? It doesn't really work because you still see some. If I held that still enough, you guys wouldn't even know I was here. It's a tennis ball. They call it an AC. Take a pause to rethink life decisions. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I know it wasn't the brightest moment. Luckily, not many people saw it, so we can keep it hush for just the stream. You know, no one will even know that it happened. Anytime Australia lose, I'm happy. Been bullying the Kiwis for years, except at Union. Come on, New Zealand, make me a happy man, says Morse. And Lyle says Pete D in there as well. Yeah, we'll just forget that I said about that, I guess. But yeah, second half, close. There was quality stealth though. I love good stealth. Says Sebastian. I need something bigger that's green though, I think. Like something that's a real hefty green. This is green. No, doesn't work. We need a bright green. I haven't really got much bright green, unfortunately, on me. But I feel like that would be a fun way of ending the stream today, is just putting something green up and disappearing. Doing it like a magic trick. In this first half, though, players who have stood up. Harry McLaughlin-Phillips, I think, has looked decent for the Australians, alongside Aiden Kanayaki. Good evening, Hamish. How's it going, my lad? Says Marnus. I'm doing very well, thank you, Marnus. Hopefully you are keeping well also. Stanley Forth, also having a pretty good first half, the Aussie fullback. Then for New Zealand, I would say, Stanley Solomon, you can't look too far past him. What he's been able to do throughout that first half. And also some decent work from Taylor and Gareth's Memoir, Dungeon. See, it's a pun, but I don't think my tongue wants to say it. Dungiorous Minds. Certain words seem to be a bit of a struggle, don't they? But I should also mention I'm slightly sleep deprived, so that may be why this live stream's a bit more out the gate, or what's it called? Like kind of off the tongue. There's a saying. Close enough, Hamish. Yeah, I feel like by the time I tried it 15 times, you guys probably just started feeling sorry for me. Speak English. And I'm doing good, my man. Do you know when does South Africa play Argentina in this under-20s Rugby Championship? They have played, Marnus. They played a little bit earlier on. I won't tell you the score if you don't want to know it, but if you do want to know it, let me know, and I will let you know. Off the charts. Is that the chef's kiss? I don't think it is from Caitlin, though. I think that's like that one. If New Zealand win, do they win the championship? They do. And if Australia win, they also win the Rugby Championship. Off the charts. That's the one. And just a bit of, I don't know. It's been a long day, ladies and gents. Yes, who won? Says Annoy. Only if Marnus says so. Tell the score, but don't say who won. Okay, the score was split by 2 points in the end. So, do you want to know the exact score, or do you just want to know that? The exact score, I'm about to say, 30 points to 28, I believe it was. We only feel a little sorry for you. It's entertaining. We still appreciate you. Says Caitlin. And there as well. I don't mind a little bit of sympathy, I guess. But we're going to be back again next weekend, probably as sleep deprived. But it's always fun because I feel like the straightforward live streams, you know roughly what you're going to get. A sleep deprived live stream, there's always a random conversation. Like we talked about Bunny Chow for like 5 minutes earlier on. And because it is a random live stream, I don't think I saw one person complain about not talking about what was happening in the game. To be fair, there wasn't a lot happening. 12 points to 6 at the moment, the way that it sits. I'm so lost, says Riley. Welcome in. What's the time in New Zealand? It's currently 6:24. So pretty much the gist of what happened today was we finished our last live stream at about 4 a.m. New Zealand time this morning. We then ended up going till about 5-ish in terms of getting everything set up. Got to sleep at about maybe 5 or 5:30. Set the alarm for 8:50 because we had to be up. We filmed with George. We did a couple videos on the entertainment channel. We also took this out and about, the GoPro, and did some filming for something that's coming up soon. And then got home. And we're here now. I just woke up. What was the score between South Africa and Argentina? It was very close. How's KFC filming? I just remembered when you said that I actually told you guys what it was yesterday that we actually filmed. It wasn't as good as we hoped it would be. Like, we were slightly disappointed, but they at least gave us all the food. Tag the entertainment channel. Says Caitlin in there as well. One moment. Sebastian will probably beat me to it because he's extremely speedy with this type of thing. I'm gonna race him. I know he's typing flat out at the moment. Please tell me it's GoPro Village Cricket. It is not, but we still have about 3 or 4 more of those videos available. One moment. I'll go like that, and like that. There you go, Caitlin. That is the link to the entertainment channel, where you will hear a lot more swearing than this channel, and you also hear George, who is very loud. So be warned. And I just woke up. Did they mind you filming inside? We didn't go inside. We went through the drive-through, which was a mission and a half in its own right, because the food took a very long time to be ready. So that wasn't ideal, but that's all right. The milkshake was real quick from Macca's, which was great. And also we have got there, I'll check on Google. But yeah, it was a very close game between the two sides. Mornay, in the end. All right, anyone who doesn't want to know the score between South Africa and Argentina, be sure to cover your ears. But 3, 2, 1. South Africa won in the last minute, winning it by 2 points. Hamish, please tell me, why is New Zealand nowadays complaining so much about the laws of the game, especially this era? Says Morse. I haven't really heard New Zealand complaining too much about it. And I know that you'll be like, no, that's just because you ignore it. But like, honestly, like every live stream that we do, we have at least one person from pretty much every team who's like playing complain about something to do with the laws, whether that's a yellow card, whether that's a red card, whether that's an offside, whether that's a high tackle, whether that is something in the breakdown, a penalty try. It all gets pretty much looked at time and time again, and depending on your interpretations of the law, depends on whether or not you end up, I guess, liking or disliking a decision. Did South Africa score a try or a kick in the last few minutes? It was the penalty kick from 10 metres out. But, yeah, it's an interesting one with the laws. They've changed them again, World Rugby. I don't know when those are coming in. I think it's for the July internationals, I believe. They're just showing an ad for Men in Black. I've never watched that movie. In fact, while we're at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, let's all, everyone that can, list a well-known movie or 2 or 3, and I'll tell you whether or not I've seen them. I bet you I have not seen most of the ones that you are putting in. While your channel saying New Zealand under 20, says New Zealand Argentina under 20, says Spider-Mick, because it is, well, this one is correct because it is Australia versus New Zealand. So they must have made a little error. Oh, that one, I just checked the score, and South Africa were 27-28 behind, and then a winning penalty kicked over one at 30 points to 28. It's most likely Kerwin, and complaining about the laws, Wilson. Shawshank Redemption, haven't seen it. So starting off well. I need to start watching some more movies. I feel like I need to do like a weekly movie watch. Like get your guys' recommendations and then actually watch a movie each week, and then at some stage throughout the weekend mention that I watched a movie so that you guys don't get disappointed. Goodbye Pork Pie, haven't seen it. Top Gun, haven't seen it. Any of the Star Wars films? Briefly. Not that I can really remember though. I feel like I've seen one of them when I was a lot younger. War for the Planet of the Apes, haven't seen it. This has not started well. South Africa won 30 points to 28, says Marnus. That is true, yep. Getting themselves the win in the last moment. Now, it looks like New Zealand making their way out of the tunnel. Just check the score was 30 points to 28 to South Africa. That's pretty close. Do South Africa still have a chance to win it all? They do not know. Have you gone to the cinema theatre to watch a movie? Ages and ages ago. Barbie and her sisters in the ponytail, a real man's film. I have not seen that one, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of the last movie that I watched. Better off asking what you have watched. Probably. I watched like Forrest Gump, Hamburger Hill Hammy. No. God's Gun stars Lee Van Cleef. Never heard of it. What else have I seen? I've seen a few comedies. I'm more of a comedy movie guy than a serious one. The Deer Hunter, no, haven't seen it. I'm impressed that we've almost listed all ones that we haven't watched. The Word, Speeding Up the Game. I've heard that so many times. Maybe New Zealand must get a forward. Also on that show, says Morse Book Bus in there. Although they normally have James Parsons on, don't they, for the breakdown, or do they not give him the chance on the breakdown anymore? I know at one point they had him on, who of course is a hooker in romantic movies you've seen. Only when I feel like a good cry on a Friday night. That was not serious, by the way. No, not many romantic films. Haven't really got anyone to watch them with. I don't really watch them by myself. The Godfather, no, haven't seen that one either. I'm more of a Barbie as the Island Princess. Says Grant, that one's gone into touch. The sad face there from Caitlin. Friday nights are rugby nights, so we don't normally get a chance to watch a movie. My best friend's wedding, Notting Hill, neither of them, haven't seen them. I should be taking notes of the chat for this one as well, shouldn't I? Just lets it go into touch in the end. It's just in the field of play. Oh, a little bit of a hesitation from the Australians. Believe you watch a Roadrunner Hemi, your kind of movie? I have not, no. Gatsby? Oh, don't think so. I think we were going to watch it in PE at school. I don't know what it had to do with PE, but I think we were about to watch it and then we didn't in the end. Don't worry, one day you might get there. And Hamish, the only film you should ever watch is called Ankle Biters. Okay, I don't think I've seen that one either, but might have to give it a look. Hi, Caitlin, says Marnus. Now thrown in. Nicely taken. To the right-hand side now for New Zealand. Only 42 minutes in at the moment, and they would need probably one more try at least to secure the victory here with how close this game is. Debbie Does Dallas. I have not seen that one either. I need to watch some movies. This is pretty much, like, I knew I was bad in terms of the amount of films that I've seen, but, like, this is really bad. Now, nice, beautiful offload to Taeli. Ball on the inside. Was it forward? It was backwards. And Dylan Pledger scores it. Ankle Biters is about dwarf vampires. I did not know that. What happens if Australia win without a bonus point and deny New Zealand? Any bonus point, what happens then? I believe Australia would win if that is the case, but New Zealand currently are in a position of sitting with a bonus point if they continue going the way that they are here. Daly with the ball on the inside. Back to Dylan Pledger. We got there the waving. Hello, Vietnam. Is that a movie name? Favourite comedy movie then? Ooh. I mean, I don't mind. I liked Anchorman too, to be honest, just because it was quite goofy. I don't mind a few, like, Adam Sandler movies normally go alright, just as a bit of a light-hearted one. I normally, like, the movies that I have watched, people would be like, why would you watch that? You are silly. Coming to America. Says annoyed. No, haven't seen that one. This is Hamish's favourite film, Fences. And Vanessa's Fantasies was a good one. Is that a romantic one, The Prince? Gonna be kicked off now. It's get loose. Nicely cleaned up at the back. To the right-hand side here for the Australians who are looking to get straight back into this contest. Currently sitting 6 points to 19. Inside ball. Take a run from Jack Barrett. Sawyers. Seen Godzilla? I have not, no. I've seen some rock movies. To be fair, something like Get Hard. Wait, is it called Get Hard? Central Intelligence, those type of ones I'm a bit partial to. Bit of Rock and Kevin Hart. Is that Beatty's son? Beatty's. Who's Beatty? Caitlin from Louise with some kissy faces. Oh, he's making moves. 10 metres out for the Australians. Can the Australians make a move in the right direction and get over the line standing fourth? Gerhard might have been on a different website, mate. Says Sebastian. I know you love Rambo. I haven't watched Rambo. My dad's watched a lot of Rambo. I couldn't tell you how many times he's watched it, but I'd assume that it's been at least 10. I don't even know how many Rambo movies there are. I think there's at least like 4, though. If New Zealand win today, they win the cup later, Hamish. Says Quintus, they certainly do. Bodie Barrett. Oh, is that Bowden's son for Jack Barrett? Not quite. He looks like he could have been maybe like the youngest brother of the family. Five Rambo movies. Okay, you should watch Robert. It's about a serial killer. The twist is the killer is a tire with telekinetic powers. What? Is that really a movie? If it is, that's impressive. Tui Pilotu off the field. That is going to be for Bryn Edwards, Rambo, Rocky, Keanu Reeves, and Denzel Washington. Says Morse. And off to the left-hand side. Game of Thrones. I have not seen Game of Thrones. Oh, good work in the breakdown from Vernon Besson. No, he's given away the penalty. I said that no one, or someone didn't roll away in time for that one. It is a real movie. It's glorious, says Grant. And no one commenting about current match. No, everyone's talking about movies now, which is fine. At the end of the day, Australia are trying to get themselves back into this contest. They're 13 points down at the moment. Anytime there's something big that happens in the game, we will be sure to let you know. 20 metres out now for the Australians. 6 penalties against New Zealand compared to the 4 of the Aussies. A nicely claimed Django Weston's comedy. Are you being served an ID? Okay, I don't think I've seen them, unfortunately. And Caitlin, how's it going? Says Marnus. And once we're Warriors, maybe not. I feel like it's been on while I've been in the room, but I probably haven't really watched it. Tell you what, Caitlin's got a lot of fans today by the looks of it. Is that now 3 or 2? Now, advantage going the way of the Australians, popping it in behind. Bloomfield driven back again. Oh, counter-up coming from New Zealand. Not able to get it was King Maxwell. That is actually his name. How do you spell that last name? So it is Bason for Vernon Besson. 3 if we can include you, says Caitlin. That was smooth, wasn't it? 5 metres. Oh, that was close for the Australians. My mule doesn't like people laughing. Is that the movie title? Now, 2 metres out from the line. Chance for the Australians again. Going with the pick and go around the side. Have you done ever parachuting? It is very popular in New Zealand. That's go over the line. I wouldn't parachute, I don't think. Don't get me wrong. It seems like a fun time if you don't mind falling from a very high distance and then hoping that you catch yourself. But I don't know whether or not it would be my cup of tea. Bungee jumping's the same. I don't think I'd even bungee jump. That is close. Oh, one of the players actually saying that a referee might have been in his way a little bit. Are you a fan of Caitlin? I'm a big fan of Caitlin. We haven't seen her in 7 months. She's back on the channel, popping in. And she's been on like 4 live streams this weekend. Amanda's looking bad, although now they've got back into it a little bit more. There for the Australians. Smooth, Sebastian. In there as well. And I've just checked you didn't stream South Africa versus Argentina match. You told me yesterday, are you going to stream it? What happened? We were still away, unfortunately. So me and George came back a little bit later from our trip than we anticipated. Said that in a very weird way. But yeah, it pretty much meant that we weren't going to be able to do that once. Swimming with the Sharks is fun. What if it was for a charitable purpose, like a children in need gig? Says Sebastian. Oh, so you're asking me to parachute for charity. I'd at least consider it, but first I'd also say maybe can I do something other than that? We're thinking about doing something as like a charity thingy. I believe it would be next month. I've got something planned, and hopefully it does come to tuition. They got a rugby here, New Zealand by 46. Mark, that seems a little bit too high, as New Zealand currently only have a 6-point lead with 30 minutes remaining. Can you tell 7 months? Does YouTube say how long? They don't, but she told us a couple of days ago because it was the World Cup final. You like UFC? 3 News showed a UFC, but didn't catch his name. Says Kevin. Yeah, I don't mind the UFC. All right, so I didn't say that, but just I would find another way of doing it that I don't have to jump out of a plane, you know? And the chances of death is also there in parachuting. Yeah, although like the chances of death, unfortunately, for most things is there, isn't it? It's just a little bit higher for parachuting. It's literally got shooting in the name. Now, taking the mark inside of the 22. That is something that has been added into this competition. And that one's gone into touch. Great kick downfield from Palu. So how was Mother's Day there by you? Did you have a nice day? It's been busy, but it's been good overall. Do you bungee, Hammy? Nah, no bungee jumping for me. The most extreme thing that I do is probably go-karting, and that's not extreme. Or like, I went luging one time, if you guys know what that is. It's pretty much similar to karting, except you're going down a hill on like a little buggy thing. Toot and shoot, not the same thing. I just made myself look dumb again, didn't I? I'm doing a good job of that today. Every time I'm opening my mouth, I'm just digging myself a little bit of a hole, it would seem. But now, cross kick from, that's an ugly landing for the Australian fullback. It is going to be the penalty advantage, and now they're flying down the wing here for the Australians. Player looked like he was tripped on the inside. Horse riding, you done? Nah, haven't ridden a horse. Don't really plan to. I just can't understand how it would be comfortable with, like, you know, something would be in a certain position and you just feel like you're slapping something on the, you know, never mind. But, yeah, I don't think it would be very comfortable. Sitting in a cage with lions walking around you, that's nice. Says Morse. Finally got Amish to break on the live stream. Says Grant. I've done bungee jumping 2 times. Amazing. Says Spider Mech. Our chance for Australia losing. Isn't that an Australian gay bar thing? I don't think so. Ridden a cow but not a horse? What were you doing on a cow, the prince? Like a bull or just a cow in general? Been about 20 years since I bungee jumped. Not sure I would again. You should try surfing. I did it at a water park. Nearly broke my ass in half, but it was great. I recommend it. Fair enough. I've heard that your mother were playing golf. How did your mother fare? So she went all right, I believe. We'll probably take her golfing middle of next week as well, or early next week. Sounds like the TMO are going to be reviewing this one. And this is going to be for the player being tackled in the air. Losing is not winning in a Dutch accent. And UFC star was Carlos. Carlos who? Carlos Condit or Condit, something like that. Condiment. 28 minutes left here. See, that's unfortunate because he was looking for the ball the whole time. It's a really awkward landing for the Australian player, but he had his eyes on the ball the whole time. Who's the ref? Some bloke with a hard name. TMO for this one was someone else. I can't now remember. But he's like a regular referee. I think I can't remember the name. Right, there's going to be a yellow card now. Do Mother have any other talents? She used to be good at tennis. Used to be the tennis champion of the town, kicking everyone's backsides. What else does my mum do well? I know that she's just in the other room as well, so I feel like I've got to say the right things here. She used to be very handy with a cricket bat in hand as well. It's going to be the yellow card now against New Zealand, and it's going to be King Maxwell making his way from the field. Good milk. Says Axel. I haven't seen her do that. Now, they're actually going to kick this one for the corner here. The Australians cooking good food. Harish's mum's biggest talent is she's a Stormers fan. Says Grant, the Aussie player won the jump of the year. The New Zealand player must get out of it. Yellow is fair. Yeah, it is. Like, at the end of the day, when a player goes up that high, you have to have some sort of responsibility of trying to get them down safely. Oz scored. I tried, didn't realise, says Hanoi. Yeah, they're right in this game now, and there's a chance for them to win this Rugby Championship if they can get out of this contest with the victory. And then work towards the touchline. Australia still staying in the field of play. They're 3 metres out. Valentini looking off to the right-hand side, but instead decides to go himself, goes over the top of Basson. Now I'm behind for the Australians. Looking away to the right-hand side. Another chance for Stanley Forth. Ludmilla and the Ox as a fine art house movie. Says Fluffy. Across again, this time for Corridukes. She had to go at the Black Caps. I had to go at the Black Caps in the stream. It was a glorious rant. Her commentary is top-notch when she's passionate about the topic, says Sebastian. I still remember that match, the one up against the Australians. New Zealand had the chance of winning. They gave it away. And when we got her on the stream, they took those 2 quick wickets and then it just went downhill from there. Game looked too serious. Players look too serious. For goodness sake, it's only a game. Says Morse, nice attack and run. And I think he's over. Where's he been held up? This might be the try for Boston. Whakafanua, which is his name. You know, sometimes it sounds harsh, but I'm not sure if I want him to make it to international level, just because that's going to be a hard name to say without people going, what'd you say? How much time remaining? I think New Zealand has this in the bag. They've still got 20 minutes left in this contest. In fact, a little bit more than 20, about 25 minutes remaining. So it could go either way between these two sides. Ludmilla, I know I read that one, didn't I? Surely your mother is also a very good cook. Yeah, she cooks some mean feeds, as a Kiwi would say. And I hope he's held up. He was indeed held up. So Australia now receive the goal line dropout out wide for the Australian inside centre. Looking for the chipper behind. Stanley Solomon is back there to cover it. Tries to step on the outside. Got greedy though and gets wrestled into touch. The man needs to know that sometimes it's not a bad thing to pass the ball. Good work again from Whakafanua. I should mention that is his name as well. It's not Fanua, and I'm not swearing at him first. There is a mean feed. Well, this is a mean feed, says Fluffy, and New Zealand need another try to close it out. Do Kiwi bird is only found in New Zealand? I think so. It is the national bird of New Zealand as well. That's going to be nicely thrown in. Now fired back across to the left-hand side. Back across. And going out wide. Australia going to run it in. O'Scran is boss. If it is the best in Scouse, says Sebastian. And that guy should have passed. Dumb play to go for glory. 2 guys outside of him with a man advantage. And also Donna should drop in the chat of the live stream more often. She tries to wingman her son, says Grant. Speaking of wingmanning, I think we scared away Caitlin from earlier on. The only place I want to see a Kiwi bird is on my braai, says Grant. Yeah, New Zealand. Chance to win this game, but they have made it very difficult for themselves as the Australians just continue to score points, actually running it round quite nicely as well. The man out on that left wing, Will McCulloch. Oh, that's us one man down, says Pete D. That is true. New Zealand with 14 men on the field. Australia still with their 15. I'm still here, says Caitlin. In there as well. Oh, that's a dark cloud in the background. They want to get this game over and done with before that rain starts pouring down. But that is a fantastic kick, and the Australians now taking the lead. 20 points to 19 in this matchup. It's going to be a close finish, ladies and gentlemen. One moment, I am about to sneeze, so we will quickly mute. I think the commentator has just said this game may not conclude before the end. Oh, sorry, it will not conclude before the rain comes, I think is what they said. What's your favourite food your mother has ever cooked for you? Ooh. I used to love some teardrop chicken tenders. Back in my day, I was talking about them the other day with someone. I was like, I miss those chicken tenders. Like, they were just from a packet that you get from the shop, but they used to be good. You know? My parents ran away when I turned 5, says Fluffy. And Amish does not have a favourite anything, says Grant. I got the sneezing emoji from Caitlin. And there's now 5 back across to the right-hand side. That look close to forward. Now Leahy going with the grubber in behind. Solomon has to run it into touch. No option. How are you watching the game? It is on Sky Sport 2 here in New Zealand. Thunder coming, says Hanoi. Australia have so much momentum at the moment compared to what we saw about 10 minutes ago back in my day, like you are a spring chicken. Oh, I'm getting up there though. I'm almost a quarter of a century old. Like in December, I will be into that second quarter. I don't feel 25 though. I feel like I'm, like, mentally I'm still a spring chicken. Physically, I'm getting old. You know, the back's starting to give way. That's probably from sitting here for 5,000 hours. Have you ever turned vegan for a week and only eat vegetable? Nah, normally there's a bit of chicken or something. That's another wide cut out pass. Australia in the corner. I've got another one. Did you see any of the Aurora lights? I did, but only through like a phone camera. I couldn't see much of it in terms of outside of the camera, but I noticed on the phone that it was a lot easier to see it, which was nice. One moment, I'll find a picture. 25, get into that age of being able to fiddle with divorces, says Sebastian. So there we go. That is the. You see that? Probably not really. My nails are too long. I need to chop them. But yeah, picture. That's all pink and whatnot. Photo credit goes to my sister because she took the photo. You'll only be 25 by December, Hammy, says Amorne. One's going to be missing away to the side for the Australians, who have now got themselves a 6-point lead. They have scored 2 tries in the last 3 minutes. Looking very strong. Do you remember Hamish, the granny at the bowling alley, says Grant? I feel like clarification's needed. Who's that in the room? It's my mum at the moment. I can see her. She was only like 30. The one at the bowling alley. Do you want to say hi to the viewers, Mumsy? Hi. Did you hear her? She's behind this wall that I've got up at the moment, celebrating her Mother's Day, hoping to see New Zealand walk away with a victory here, which currently they aren't doing very well.
That's because of the bullshit calls from the referee.
Okay, you may have heard that. She's not happy with the referee at the moment, with the way that it's been going. And TV director's not showing the angle with the long pass. Says Morse. And also we have got the chat forward pass from Morse there as well. Happy Mother's Day, your son's trying his best, says Caitlin. And there as well. What's your mum's age? I think 50, is it correct? Well, coding, there's a thing that you'll learn in life. There are a few things you should never ask about a woman. Her weight, her age, and what else? How many kids she's got? What are the other ones that you shouldn't ask?
Does she work?
Does she work is another one my mum has said. But yeah, so that's one of them. But she is only 35. She's not, but she doesn't look a day over 40. Currently 25 metres out from the line. Her body count. Yeah, that's another one that you probably shouldn't ask a woman. That'll get you slapped. Happy Mama Day, Donna, says Sebastian. Now, once again, going back for another penalty in favour of New Zealand. 1 minute left on the card, and then they will be back to 15 men on the field. It's a talk of the town. Donna almost had a daughter-in-law older than her, says Grant. That is from the bowling alley that he was referring to. What happens to the massive screen at the ground if the lightning comes? I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of a unknown, per se. So anyone's game says, no, Mum, happy Mother's Day, Donna. Hope to see you soon, says Grant. She is still here. She went real quiet there for a second.
When's Grant coming?
No, he's not coming here per se. He's hoping to see you on a stream soon.
Okay.
What in the name of Mary's left tit is happening? All that's down by 6, says Kerr. Yeah, they're struggling a little bit in the closing moments of this contest, although they're only about 5 metres out now. Line out is successful and they will look for the rolling maul. You might be the lucky charm here, Kerr. Because they're getting very close. About a metre out at, though. I tell you what, I think he's almost over there. No, referee on the touchline says held up.
Look.
She had 16 39th birthday parties. Says Fluffy. They're going to go upstairs. I thought this was a grounding. I'm not sure what was the ruling of why it wasn't. And OTMO, maybe we got a super sticker from Kerr as well. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I hope you are keeping very well wherever you are in the world at the moment, whether or not you are still same location as last time. Cake for Mum, says Kerr. And so I'll tell you what, she'll be thoroughly impressed with that. She does love a cake. This camera angle will show us whether or not there was the grounding. So he got close. He then goes down. I feel like that's down. Oh, it was close. Might be on someone's leg. It's a try all day and come on New Zealand boys, says Axel. Donna, the only way I see you in person is if Hamish gets married, says Grant. He's pretty much invited himself to the wedding by the sounds of it.
Where does he live?
He's in Bahrain. But he'll make it over, I'd say. They're just checking this grounding. That for me, like, there's no clear evidence that is down right, but that looks like, in terms of momentum, it looks like it should be chili cheesecake, says Kerr. She likes, what's she just say?
Chili.
She's not happy with the chili cheesecake, Kerr. She likes herself a strawberry cheesecake. Yeah, she likes one of those. I'll come as Grant's +1, says Kerr. Right, it's going to be a goal line dropout now. 17 minutes remaining. Australian commentator saying that's a great decision from the referee.
Oh, what would they know?
And red velvet?
Yeah, don't mind.
She likes a red velvet. I've just heard my dad from the other room actually saying that ball was down. So it's all kicking off in the household. But Australia now kicking off from their goal line. 50 metres out for New Zealand. Chance to throw the big number 8 at the line, Rippling Alec. Back across for New Zealand. This one looks like it's going to go down to the wide just like the last contest. Now knock on from Solomon Sullivan or whatever his name was. It was Stanley Solomon, in fact. Wedding will be on the ship. There you go. That's an idea. I agree with Dad, says Pete D. Hamish bro, what's your plan for Mother's Day? You any given surprise for your mums today? Says Michelle. We've got something that's been sorted. Per se. I also got her some chocolates the other day, though, just as a bit of an early gift, which she did thoroughly enjoy. If anyone's wondering why I'm looking this way, my mum is not that way, but there is a big window that I can see her reflection because she's about 3 metres behind me at the moment. Hamish thinking he has a choice. The whole WWRFC will attend that wedding. Excellent idea. Then they will be washed out and ready to get used again. Says Kerr for, yeah, the dinghy. Tell me, Hamish, what's your mother's favourite hobby? She loves a bit of golf, she does. 16 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment as well. Yeah, bit of golf, bit of bowls, bit of
Trashy TV.
trashy TV. She loves her reality TV shows. Ooh, tell you what, his knee went the wrong way there for Rappling Alec. It's probably understandable why he's a little bit slower. Getting back to his feet, the clouds are starting to roll in. It looks like it's going to be a dark and dingy type of finish for this matchup. About 17 minutes left. Donna's favourite hobby is shouting for the Stormers, says Grant. Small wingers this year, says Hanoi. I think the little bit of a problem that they've got at the moment is Stanley Solomon, don't get me wrong, fantastic player. Scored 2 tries today. But he's also in that position of, you know, sadly, he should have passed the ball a couple times throughout this game. Instant regret reading that last comment. Well, I tried to, yeah, she's still here.
Oh, I came back.
She came back. I was about to say about that last one about the dinghies and whatnot. But yeah, I read it in my head first, which I'm glad. Can you ask her which is her favourite South African side?
Haven't got one.
You haven't got one? So out of the Sharks, the Bulls, the Stormers, or the Lions, who would you say? If you had to pick one.
If I had to.
Yeah.
Balls.
The Bulls. Ooh, that's the wrong answer.
Thought it might be.
Update the time, Irish, says Mana Black. Currently 63 minutes in. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's got it up there. Sebastian, don't you dare, says Grant. I don't say the Bulls after yesterday. She does that. Although Glasgow almost got them in the end, Kerr. It's almost a fantastic comeback. Penalty goes the way of New Zealand against the feed at scrum time. And they're pumped up at the moment, this New Zealand fullback. Their job's not done, though. They still need another try, probably 2, to feel safe in this game. Tom Allen, he is now onto the field again. That is actually to replace Malachi Rappling Alec. Went off the field with that knee injury for New Zealand. But booting it now into touch. Not a lot of time remaining.
I'll call it not straight just to give it back to the Aussies.
That's what reality shows is your mum's favourite. Oh, you'd need 5 minutes. Donna called the TMO on the Bulls comment. Says Kerr. Do you like the Glasgow Warriors, though?
Okay, yeah.
She said, okay, yeah. That's the right answer. You could wear their Glasgow kit for one of their upcoming streams. There you go. Now 15 metres out from the line. New Zealand well shut down by Australia. Not allowing them to creep forward. That ball's stuck in the breakdown. New Zealand have got themselves the penalty advantage. Your Glasgow only 1 point clear at the top now, says Kerr. At mum, expectation for Hamish's future misses, says Caitlin. Is that asking for a friend, Caitlin, or asking? What do you mean, who's Caitlin? She was here for the World Cup. She's now back.
Okay.
Yeah. Praetorian people, they're close and they are over now, New Zealand. Mum's loving it. I'm not sure what her expectations are. Someone with a pulse, I always say, is a great start. You know? Do you not agree? Yeah. We have got there as well. Good 15 minutes, says Mr. Orlin. And someone wants to be his new stepdad, says Fluffy. And Mad Pulse is negotiable, says. Girl, that kick has gone over from New Zealand. 14 minutes remaining in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. No, different Caitlin. Do you want to pop on for the last 14 minutes, Mumsy? No, you're going to stay here. I was getting the floor clear. We were ready to go. Damn, I really want the Aussies to win.
Who said that?
That was Spider Mech. And very lucky. If it was an offer from Caitlin, says Kerr. Now 14 minutes left. It's all to play for. 1 point between these two sides. That's out on the full from the Australians. Go New Zealand, they'll go for the kill shot. Yeah, a converted try here for New Zealand would win the game. Does Hamish have the stamina? What are we talking? No, like running wise, definitely not. Like I've always found running like weird in some regards because like running's great, but where are you going? Most of the time it just doesn't make sense. You're just going around the same track. Go around it once, you've done it. You've seen it all. It's such an unfit mindset, isn't it? But it's a good one. Hamish Bro, my mum dies when I'm just 1.5 years old. I never saw my mum face just one picture in my memories for Mother's Day now. Says Michelle, so sorry to hear that about your mother. And now this is an interesting game right here. The Rugby Championship under-20s not disappointing at all. It's an inaugural, a long overdue debut. You got to set up, or you got to set Hamish up, says Mr. Allin. Hole in a heartbeat, says Hanoi. Scrum feed. Now for New Zealand again. Sitting on the halfway line at the moment. Oh, I have an idea. What donation amount, Mum, would make you join the stream? Is that 50? Right, she's put her price down, 50, and she'll join for the last 13 minutes. I don't know if we'll get there, but if we do, she'll join me for the final 12 minutes of this contest. For Mother's Day as well. That's the best time to have her on. Also her birthday. But now nice attack and run from New Zealand. Is that New Zealand dollars, says Kerr? Be very careful how you answer this because you know he's going to do either. You haven't met Kerr.
Oh,
well, you have met Kerr, yeah.
So he doesn't need to see me again.
I think she'll just accept 50 of anything, really.
Not sense.
Not sense, she's just said, though. And then this game is all set for New Zealand, says Kevin. Now back across, New Zealand still building. Phases, oh, that's bad. A player who's currently injured just got crushed. Unfortunately, he has a bad knee. Right, we've got a £20 donation from Kerr saying, come on, Mumsy. I'll do the conversion just because she drives a hard bargain. She said, what's that in New Zealand? To NZD. So that is, he's giving you $41 New Zealand. Is that a... That's a deal?
Yes.
Right, we'll chuck you that. Do you want headphones or?
Do I need them?
Not really. If you don't want them, we'll clear that. We'll bring you over for old Mother's Day. All right, ladies and gents, put that there. Got enough leg room, hopefully. It's an awkward twist.
That's good.
It's good. It's not quite good. There you go.
Aye.
Hello, hello, Mumsy.
Aye.
Oh, he's done another £10 just in case.
Thank you, Kerr.
He's a very generous man, isn't he, Kerr?
Yes.
Do you think New Zealand are going to win this?
Oh, they're not playing well enough, are they? The referee's not exactly on their side, are they?
Well, they are actually checking this TMO in the breakdown, see whether or not there was some sort of like illegal clean out
From
from New Zealand.
of course. Yeah.
Got the hearty face from Caitlin there as well. And what a treat, says Fluffy. Say hi to your mum from us here.
How's it going?
Hello. Hi, Ma, says Axel. Your mother's favourite team is the Bulls. That's a wrong team. You should support the Stormers. They play more attractive, Mother.
Is that right?
Hello, Madame. Hope you're well.
I'm good, thanks.
And happy Mother's Day, Donna, even if you like the mutant Bulls. And I deducted some contribution due to the Bulls comments.
I said I like the Glasgow, whatever they are. Who are they?
Glasgow Warriors,
Yeah.
didn't you? That's an ugly one, isn't it? His leg's kind of gone one way. Nothing wrong with that clean out Aussie player, bad technique. Yeah, he's very wide in his base. So they have to work out whether or not there is any crunch downwards. Because if there is, then they consider that as dangerous. So does he force his body weight down at an awkward angle?
No.
Eh,
It's a bit
I think
like
it's going to be a yellow card.
It's a bit like that high up and under where we got sent for 10 minutes. It was the other guy that jumped up.
Taking him out in the air.
Yeah.
Favourite thing about your mum? Oh, tell you what, there's a list.
No.
And there, mumsy.
No, there won't be.
I like the fact that she's very laid back. You know? There's a yellow card for New Zealand there.
Sucks.
My dad's coming as well. It's not quite Father's Day, but he can pop in if he likes. Although I'm scared what he's going to say about this referee.
If that fella's going to poke his chicken leg out that far, he deserves to get it bloody bent.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, I like that she's laid back. My mum.
Am I laid back?
Your mother looks very young, Hamish, says Mono Lagrange.
He just wants me to... Who does he like?
He likes the Stormers. He wants you to switch, I would say.
Ah.
And BS card says Morse. If that is a card, I don't know anymore. Now New Zealand, they're going to have to play with one less man. They're looking for the 50-22 here. That is a fantastic kick. A little bit of a juggle. A little bit of a slip at the back for Stanley Forth. High scoring, close games this weekend. Exactly right. Like Super Rugby's had a few last minute thrillers throughout it. Have a happy Mother's Day. Says Kevin.
Nathan Smith.
Not the same Nathan Smith, though.
Not the cricketer.
No. Useless kick for touch. Says Hanoi.
Yep.
10 minutes left. You're happy to be here. You're excited. You normally get quite nervous when we get to these stages, don't you?
I do, yep.
Don't mention the Canes. Only so much I can take. Says Kerr.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
tell you
got
what,
shit,
this might get you some brownie points from Kerr. At the end of last season, Kerr, my mother, what did you get? You got a couple pairs of Hurricane shorts.
Yeah, and I've got a
Also,
Hurricane shirt.
Hurricane shirt, Hurricanes polo. So she's actually decked out for the Canes. And I think she got a free scarf with the order as well.
Where did we put that?
I think it's in my wardrobe. So I got a free scarf with the order.
I was going to say, I never saw that.
Yeah, she's got the kit. You are far too wholesome to support the mutants from Pretoria, says Grant.
Well, you said I had to pick one.
He wanted you to say the Stormers.
I know, that's why I said the Bulls.
I should see where you get your good teeth from, says Amana in there as well. And why did she choose the Canes? I don't really know.
I've always, ever since
Pass out wide
Christian
missed.
Cullen played for them, and Tana Umaga, and
Conrad Smith.
Conrad Smith.
Jerry Collins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good old days.
yeah. They had some good players.
Penalty falling off his feet and from the side. Nonsense ref. I live just down the road, says Ed Smith, and she's decked. Sounds wrong in a New Zealand accent. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, decked out. Yeah. Because Hamish loves yellow. Yeah, that's probably the reason why, because she saw them because I like myself a yellow kit.
He does too.
Yeah, landing on his head there.
Oh, that's his fault.
Australian player, but he has come over the breakdown, which has actually led to the penalty. Now, New Zealand, I believe, are taking on the 3 points here. That is to take away the chance of a penalty going the way of the Aussies. Now, Hamish likes the Hurricanes because of their lovely kits, yellow power, says Sebastian. Grant is not fond of Pretoria, in case anyone is wondering. This is the big V8 show. I love Hamish's mum. I know she's undecided on me. He's changed his name. That's Tony Martinez. You remember him?
Yeah, what does that name ring a bell?
From the Women's World Cup. You weren't sure if you liked him or not.
He had some bizarre comments, was it?
But that kick has gone over. For New Zealand now, they are sitting 26 points to 25, or at least they were before they head to 29-25. Would do a kick flip over you, Grant. Says Mr. All-In, Loftus was a great experience yesterday. Great game too. Or good game too. Says Mikel. I saw Cully in the TAB on Cuba Street in Wellington. He's taller than he seems in real life. And order being restored, says Kerr there as well. Sitting 30 metres out for the line here, New Zealand. Still with 7 minutes left. It's going to go slowly, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, it has already.
Okay, tie. This is for the Rugby Championship too.
Oh, no.
If Australia win it, they take it. That is a knock-on from the Aussies. Caitlin, I forget you are from Ireland, says Kerr. Yeah, from Ireland, I think, with the Scottish father, but she lives in Durban, I believe.
Okay.
There you go.
Makes sense.
Aside from some inappropriate comments on this live chat, this is the cutest stream. Says Caitlin there as well. Do they get prize money for a win? Not sure, actually. I'd assume they get some sort of cheddar for their troubles. You know, some sort of cash bonus. It's my inappropriate comments getting me in trouble. We have got there. Kiwi surely got this fingers crossed. The only inappropriate comment was from Donna, says Grant.
What was that?
That was that you said you were a Bulls supporter.
You only to piss him off.
It's worked.
It has, isn't it?
Is your mum a Kiwi? She is, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well and truly.
Tell you what, you're repping the Puma merch today, aren't you? I haven't got me Puma on.
Oh, no.
Oh, maybe. I don't want to. You don't want to take my shirt off, but I think it's underneath there.
Yeah, it's a
Family-friendly show.
Unless
Yeah, I think if the Australians win, you're going to start throwing hands.
Oh.
Well, not throwing hands, but you start swearing a bit.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And up New Zealand today, Hamish, and new commentator Mum. Checking in from Brisbane, Auckland for life, says James Martin. So welcome in, mate. Yeah, on Mother's Day, luckily, somehow, we've managed to get me mum on for this stream. Apology donation for inappropriate comments. Swear jar equivalent, says Kurt. Tell you what, that's a hefty swear jar, Kurt.
It is. It's getting better.
£10. It's going to be nicely taken into the 22 by New Zealand. 5 minutes remaining. 22 metres out from the line, hitting hard on the turf. There it was Jonathan Lee. Swear jar equivalent, says Caitlin. And also from Swaziland, live in Durban, Irish surname. Says Caitlin, I'm paying it forward, says Kurt. How are we going to make Donna a granny without taking your shirt off?
What? They're trying to marry you off. They're trying to
it sounds that way, doesn't
kids
it?
and marriage.
Mm.
Wow. You
Got a bit of work to do, don't I?
Yeah, got a bit of work to do. Yep.
20 metres out at the moment. Going to the left-hand side here for New Zealand. You should have your mum and dad doing commentating with you. We've done it before. We actually did it on a cricket live stream. And also, I once had them doing a live stream by themselves while I did the sevens, which was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. Remember it well.
Mm-hmm. You guys were more popular than I was.
Oh, they're just being kind.
A shirt off press up challenge, says Kurt. 10 metres out from the line.
You've been on the tips, Kurt.
I just typed the word because I know Donna doesn't mind it, says Sebastian. Now 10 metres out from the line. Chance again for New Zealand. Donna, you have got a great son. Well done. He can keep his shirt on.
Oh, okay.
And close it out, New Zealand. I really need to go to South Africa soon, says Kerr. It's to see Ruth.
Oh.
There's a romance in the chat, you see.
What? Between? Huh?
Between Kerr and Ruth. There's sexual tension. Oh, that's the try for New Zealand. And they've got it now. Taylor scores the try that will win this game for New Zealand. We would think. Was there a little bit of unbiasedness coming through there, Mum?
Not at all.
Did I hear a little, yeah?
Of course you did.
Shirts off, Amy, give me 20. Don't get married, Hamish, it's hard, says Mother Black. And when Hamish took over the stream from his parents, the views actually went down, says Sebastian.
Yeah, but that was because of the shit game.
And also, donation, Donna, we only here for you. This guy is average, says Tony. He's the same one who said that you raised a good son.
Yeah, make up your mind.
Was your mother disappointed about that loss in the World Cup final?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was happy about the Women's World Cup final win, though, for New Zealand. We actually covered that game together.
We did.
And that might be the game. Hang on, the TMO wants to have a look at it, does he?
Bugger off.
Or no, it might just be subs being made. They might want a different ball here. Come on, New Zealand, hang in there and whoop whoop. Russian Bride Fund. Hamish, why don't you give it a Morse yes? Okay. Boys worked hard for that try, says BT. They had to work extremely hard throughout the closing moments of this game. And this is the chance to get this conversion over. This would take them outside of a In fact, it wouldn't really
Sorry.
take them anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
still.
so they can give it a try.
Yeah. Although, are they outside of... No, they're not. So this will take them outside of a penalty and a try. No likes for my donations this time. Says, can everyone be sure to leave a like on Kerr's donations? That's a new feature on YouTube, fun fact.
Ooh.
Tell you what, you're the lucky charm, Mumsy.
Yeah.
I got a good lead going now.
Jeez, yeah.
Go away, TMO. Oh, good, no TMO. Don't want TMO. And buy 2 with 10 quid. Says Fluffy. And a well son, mum and son, ka kite, bye everyone, night night. Says Spider-Man, we'll see you later.
See you
90
later.
seconds remaining now.
Oh, and
Chance.
I should say Happy Mother's Day to November Mum.
And all the mothers
And all the mothers.
out there. She might be the only mother on the stream, though, that I know of.
Oh, okay.
Unless Kelly is a mother of some sort, maybe.
What do you mean some sort?
I don't know what I meant by of some sort. I think, like, in my brain it was like a mother of a child of some age, but of some sort. Sounds strange, doesn't it? I love it that Donna doesn't hide her bias, get Hamish to get off the fence, says Grant.
Hamish will never get off the fence.
No. It's safer that way, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Now New Zealand, 45 seconds remaining here. They've got a 36 points to 25 lead. Mum sure has been the lucky charm.
That's good. Happy about that.
A little bit of a Mother's Day treat, eh?
Yes.
Got to attack and run for New Zealand. They don't seem like they want this game to end just yet. Maybe one last attack. Oh, knock on.
What were you saying?
Oh, I've just had the realisation. Australia need a point here so that they finish... Oh, they'd actually finish below Argentina. I believe Australia would get the wooden spoon for this competition if they lose this game.
Really?
Yeah,
I
even
thought
if they
were
get the
on
bonus
even
point.
points.
It's going to be knocked on by Lay. And great strength shown by the number 19 who kicks it downfield.
Well done.
And kudos to your mum. Says Sanjeeva there. A great New Zealand, great winner. I'll ring my mum now. Love you, Donna, not in a creepy way. Says Tony.
Okay.
40 metres out at the moment. New Zealand looking for the turnover. Australia still in possession.
Oh,
Interception.
Great pass.
He's read it well.
He
They
didn't
can
have
boot
to
this
read
ball
it
into
well.
touch.
It was chucked straight to him.
They want to kick again here by the looks of it. They don't want to close out this game. I don't know whether the siren has sounded.
Probably hasn't.
Oh, there it is. Siren sounding now. New Zealand put it back into the pocket and they will become the inaugural Rugby Championship under-20 champions.
Yeah.
And thanks, Hamish,
Right.
for present there. New Zealand going to win All Blacks for life. Great commentary voice, mate. Says Cameron, thank you very much. And brilliant, we got this. New Zealand, says Axel there. And yep, we suck. Says the big V8 show. On the weekends, he's streaming priorities. Says Kerr, well done, boys. And congrats, New Zealand, says Sebastian there as well. So, they were down by 1 when you joined. 25 to 24. And then they ended up getting 12 points back. Or something like that. I can't remember the maths, to be honest. It's something like that, though.
Yeah.
And they went on to win this game. And not enough from the boys. A lot of work to do. Nice job, says Joke the Woke. I'm taking credit for the AB's win through the magic of Donna. Yeah, that is true. Kerr did summon you, per se, didn't
He
he?
did. Yep. Thanks for that. And thanks for the donation.
It's going to go towards a big cake.
I really did enjoy that cruise ship.
Oh, the cruise ship experience.
Yes. Changed my whole perspective.
She wants to go on a cruise now. You and your mother should do more live streams together in the future. The thing is, it's not down to me not trying,
No.
you know?
He's always nagging.
Like, you guys need to start saying in the chat a little bit more, get Donna on, and then I'll be like, oh, Mum. This sounds, I was about to say, Mum, how much? But then,
Yeah.
you know, then she'll pop in.
Mm.
Even sometimes when we don't have to pay her, she'll come on for a bit of a look-see, probably for a Black Ferns game,
Yes.
maybe. A cruise ship, smooth, says Sebastian. And the laughing faces there from Caitlin, and a lovely seeing Donna back on the stream, even with the Bulls comment, says Grant.
Get over it.
He won't.
He won't.
He'll remind you next year. I've been looking at when I can get back down. There's a few new ships down there next year,
Ooh.
says Kerr. She's on a boat. I think that's a reference to a song.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm on a boat, mother. Take a look at me. I think that's how the song goes.
I was going to say, it's not a song I've heard.
No, I haven't really heard it too much either. I know that one line.
Okay.
That's about it. Hard fought win, 2 yellow cards. True. Like the fact that New Zealand were playing with 14 men at the end of that contest to still come back and get that try of Taeli. It's just a good sign for New Zealand in the future. I mean, this youngster there, once he learns how to pass the ball, he's going to be lethal. Name is Stanley Solomon. He just went off the screen.
Is that the winger?
Yeah. He can score tries, he just
can.
doesn't like to pass.
Yeah, no. Okay.
And Leon McDonald and Jason Ryan were helping with prep against the Argentinians. Mummy, you a Crusaders fan?
No.
No, she's more Highlanders
And then Hurricanes.
because she's got all the kits. Well, not all of them, but like a fair few.
Yeah.
And also, hi, says, but and welcome in, mate.
How's it going?
Yeah. Hope you are doing well. But they're just talking to the Aussie skipper. Like, Australia in this competition, the way that they were able to fire back from losing without scoring a try up against Argentina to then go through and get themselves the overall win. Was that? No, that wasn't English. Yeah, they got the win over South Africa in the end to fire back. Well done, New Zealand. Happy as the ref Rob South Africa and the baby box versus baby wallabies, says Bird. Although, I mean, we can talk about the table a little bit here and think about what would have happened had it been South Africa who decided to kick it for the touchline in that game up against New Zealand. Had another attacking chance. They decided against it to take the draw. If they had won that game, they would have won the Rugby Championship.
Mm.
So it's one of those things of that little moment shaped the whole competition. I have to mermaid. It's the best line in that song because the mechanics of that is fascinating. That it is.
Fair enough.
There's a question that goes round sometimes about, it's like, would you rather date so I guess in your case it would be a man top half, fish bottom half, or fish top half, man bottom half combo? It's a bit of a strange question, isn't it? But think about it.
No.
Because there's a right and wrong answer.
No. I'm not answering.
Have a good week, says Kerr. You
Yeah,
too.
You too.
They got it right, says Kerr, and I'm a Chiefs fan. At my last game of the season, we got annihilated, says Finnan. Was there a big crowd? A decent crowd in the stands for this one. Was a good catch up by the Australia. But that gap was sleep mode. Could have widened the margin, but it's dialed through the whole 80. Mum just refusing the question. That question is a bit scaly. I'll take the mermaid with big tits.
Keep it clean, boys.
You know when you read something and you're reading it out loud and
Yeah,
then you
it's
try and
like-
catch yourself halfway through and it's too late.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you if the Aussies W today. I would have to read all year about how rugby is on the up among the other BS
Mhm.
and an annihilated mermaid.
Right, like the South Africa.
Ooh. And it sounds like they saw the Blues win and took the game plan to the Aussies. Or game played to the Aussies, says Pop. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
we do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream and you want to see more of me mumsy, be sure to hit that subscribe button because she'll be back. You know, she'll be back at some point, I'm sure. Hopefully. Here's a question, Donna. Would you pick a top fish or bottom fish girl for Hamish?
No, I'm not answering shit like that.
For those who haven't been told off by their own mums today, says Caitlin. And also, Hamish, have a good rest now. Thank you for your streams. And as well, it's free entry for this game, I believe. And it looks like they got a decent enough crowd in. Definitely because the weather looks like it held up for the full time, which is great because some of the games that have been taking place in the stadium and in the Sunshine Coast have been pretty rough looking. Yeah, this one not looking too bad at all. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. First of all, and last of all, of course, we want to wish you a very happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you haven't already told your mums happy Mother's Day, be sure to do so. I'm going to go to the supermarket and get my mother a cheesecake with the funds donated by Kurt. So thank you, Kurt. You'll put me in the good books. But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. And we will see you all for the next one.